Hi everybody, and welcome back to Creating Characters with Game of Thrones. As you can see, I am working on something a little bit different than where we left off yesterday. Actually, quite a bit different. So I'm going to open up in Photoshop. Oh, these are my figure drawings from today. Just a reminder, we're going to be starting Figure Friday again next week. So look out for that. These are the figure drawings that I did earlier today. So since they're up, I might as well show them to you. These are 2 minutes. This is 1 minute poses. So I always start my day off with figure drawing, just so you guys know. And hopefully you do the same as well. I think it's a good warm up. So these are my figure drawings from earlier today. And I'm gonna jump right back into where I was actually in the same frame. So I didn't even need to click over to the other one, but since I did, it's okay. This is my clean line layer. So this is the farthest that I've gone with my progress in my first Game of Thrones lion that I'm doing. I'm doing a character design and I'm doing a lion style. So I'll kind of talk about the process of that. And that's my clean layer. But these are the ones that I started with doing caricatures yesterday. So these were all the reference photos that I was using. And I made a couple of just rough sketches just to start and warm me up. And let's see, where's the one that I left off with? I'm just going through my list right now. This is the latest one that I did yesterday. And I was pretty excited about that one, but I wanted to push it even further and make it look even more like him. So I actually looked at some more references and did a couple of more drawings. And I wanted to give a shout out to him, like making more of an angry snarl. And I tried that out and I kind of liked that. Made some more. And is this the final one? Yeah, I think so. I think after I did that angry snarl one, I kind of liked where I was going with that. And so this was the one that I decided to base my lion off of. So, I mean, you can do caricatures and characters in whatever style you want. And once you figure out the features and learn like how you want to do it, you can pretty much take it anywhere. And for me personally, I wanted to do a lion version. And so I used the same image and created a separate image that was very similar to it, but I changed a lot of the features and anatomy to make it more of a lion. So I wanted to. It's really not a full lion. It's like a humanoid lion. So it's not on all fours or anything like that. But I wanted to use the same style, and that's what I did. This one is at 60% opacity. When I do my clean line over, I like to keep it with a little bit of opacity there so you can see what's happening on top when I'm actually putting the clean line on there. And you can see I'm using a bunch of different colors. I'm not just using black, which I initially thought I might just do black line because I pretty much tend to go that route just because I don't really care for changing the colors all the time. But sometimes it's worth it, and I wanted to really make certain things stand out, like the dark under eyes and the really light hair, and I wanted to get that big space here so that I can add in those crystally blue eyes. And so, with that said, I just decided to do colorblind, and this is my progress so far. So I'm pretty happy with the way it's coming out, and I'm gonna see. I did say that I was gonna share my image with you guys today, yes, on yesterday's video. So I wanted to keep my promise and make sure that I share my progress with you all. This isn't a whole lot of actual time in. I don't want you guys to get scared off and think that I've been working since morning till night. I did do a bunch of other things today, so I started actually doing this. I worked on it for about some of the sketch work I did for about an hour in the afternoon, and I picked it back up, and I've been working on this clean line for about 2 hours. Has it been 2 hours? About. It's been close to 2 hours on the clean line. So I mean, it's not something that you can do really super quickly, but it doesn't necessarily take all day. Total with everything, this is about 3.5 hours of work so far on this particular design. So I hope you guys like the progress and where I'm going with it. And like I said, we're gonna pick back up on character design and things like that. And Figure Friday, which I'm excited for. And so with that, do you want to see, like, I'm wondering if I should, I'm gonna continue drawing. So we might as well go through some of these things. Let's see. Make sure you're on your right layer. And I can't tell you how many times I'm on the wrong layer. I actually did that today. Started drawing on the wrong layer, and that didn't help me out very much. So you can see I use a lot of different colors here. And I'm trying to remember where it was at. I think I was right. Okay, so I'm gonna pick back up with his hand paws. I guess you can call them hand slash paws. Hand paws. So I'm gonna pick back up there. And I'm trying to look and see like where I left. I'm trying to find clues how I had his finger going. I can see like where his wrist starts. I'm trying to see all the way around. I'm not really seeing where that thumb is. Let me see if I can change the opacity on that layer. Help me figure out where I put his thumb. So I see like the joint here. I'm not seeing how I ended the thumb. I'm gonna have to put one in then. So what I'll do is pick up my red color, and you can always do that at any stage. Go back on the previous layer. And pencil in stuff that maybe you left out or it's not really well defined the first time that you put it. I am going to put sort of a, not whole hand, but partly claw here. And that should get my point across. So I'm just keeping in mind where points are, the direction things are going in. You have to draw all this in, but just you should know like where things line up. And I think that might help you. It definitely helps me sometimes to pencil in like where the joints are, where the bends are coming from. And then you go back to your clean layer. And you just trace over it. And I make this a little opacity again down to 60. Yeah, layer. Always remember to save every couple of minutes. It's like you can't hear that too many times. And also, if there's anything in particular on this channel that you would like to see, that you would like me to cover, I do plan to cover going over some of the Harmony products, and also how to do character lineups and things like that. I'm not sure what type of things everyone is interested in seeing, but I definitely plan on putting some fundamentals of getting your story out, getting your characters out into the real world, essentially. I mean, as long as they're in your head, they're just in your head. But once you take that next step and put them into the world, they're real. And at least in a sense, they are. So I like that. And let's get black. I want to make it black. Maybe I'll use a reddish color to outline his I don't know why I decided to give him like a rattle and like baby blocks. For some reason, I just felt like he's looks like this little child, this little like spoiled little child that's never gotten out of their terrible twos. And I think that's probably exactly what he is. And it just felt appropriate to do a little bit of a play of that with my character design. And I gave him a rattle and some baby blocks because he's like essentially the baby king. I don't know if everyone watching, well, probably if you click this to watch, you probably are a Game of Thrones fan. I don't even know. You might not even be interested in learning to draw or anything like that. Maybe you're just more interested in seeing what the characters look like. I don't know. That's all fine too. And I would like flip and show you guys. You know, I usually show like me working in my little room studio, but it's really dark in here. I don't have any lights on, and I don't want you to see the glare of the computer thing back at me. But usually I will do like back and forth. Um, I don't know. It gave me like an alert just now on my computer. I don't know. It said something about enabling some sort of voice detection. I don't know what that was. I've never seen that before. If you know what that means, please share with me in the comments because I it said something about enabling voice, voice detection or something like that. I don't know if I pressed the wrong key or I don't think so. I'm using the Wacom Cintiq, so I don't think I pressed anything. Maybe I said like a word, a keyword or something that set it off. I don't know. I know I'm not going to finish this tonight. I mean, it's already late and I am getting drowsy because I fall asleep pretty early. But I will definitely um, get pretty far in it at least. I'd like to see how far I can get. I never really know where I'm going to end. I just keep going until I'm like, can't do it anymore. I don't like to push myself too hard because I do like it to be enjoyable. But I mean, there's also times when, you know, sometimes you have like that extra kick of energy and you can just stay up till 3 doing this sort of thing that I usually can't do that. And for me, like I said, it's an enjoyable process and I want to keep it that way. And okay, he's got a tail. Tails can be tricky because it's can be hard to get that line really straight. I mean, my key thing is to look like way ahead of where you're actually drawing the line. That's like the best key I can give anybody for drawing a pretty decent line. This one is actually pretty good, so I'll keep it. But look like several inches ahead, I would say, of where your actual pen is. Especially if you're working on, well, it depends on how large your working space is, first of all. But look where you want the pen to go, not where the pen is. Because if you're looking where it is, you're going to go slower and you want to do a really fast swoop with when you're doing curves and circles. You don't want to like think about it too hard. You don't want to watch it as it's going. You just want to do a really nice swoop. So watch where you put the pen down, and then from there, you're not going to look at it again. You're just going to, you see, I made it too big here and too skinny here. So I'm going to do that. But you do want to look like way ahead of your stuff. I'm going to try and be more consistent this time in the flow. And that's not bad. I think I'll just correct some of the edges here. I want to add like music to my videos. I'm a fairly, I mean, I started last fall, around early October or so, off and on with YouTube, but I still consider myself to be kind of a noob. So I don't know. I mean, I saw like the effects thing, but I don't know how to use it really. It like takes out the sound of my voice when I try to add it, and I didn't want to take out the original audio because that's boring. You know, you want to. I mean, the whole thing is about me being able to talk to you about what I'm doing, and hopefully you're getting something from it. But yeah, I mean, if you are watching now and you would think that, or you think that, adding the background music would make it more entertaining. I notice a lot of YouTubers do have background music and something. It's not just like here where you probably hear my cat meow or like the TV, you know. Yeah, I don't want necessarily that to be my background, but if you know how to use the audio tools, then please share. I mean, I'm good at some technology, but others just not my friend. Not my friend, sadly. So sharing is caring. If you know the way, like Moana's friends. If you know the way, I'm not gonna like kill you with the lyrics, but you know, I know I'm nerdy. I'm totally being nerdy, but that's okay. Anyway, if you know the way, let you know because I don't know the way. I'm not a good wayfinder with when it comes to YouTube effects tools and stuff. Not yet, anyway. There's probably a tutorial on YouTube actually. Now that I think of it, there's a tutorial for everything. Why wouldn't they have a tutorial for their own tools? I didn't even think of that till right now. You see what happens when you think out loud? You just like come up with solutions. But still, if you are out there and you hear me and you know the answer already, then please share. I decided to put on Free Willy as my background for right now. I don't know why. I haven't watched that movie since I was about 12 in the theaters, like really in the theaters. And I was so excited to see that movie. Gosh, the way movies have changed. My son just turned 12 this year. And the last movie we saw last movie we saw was Despicable Me 3, which actually was a lot better than I thought it would be. I went in there ready for disappointment. Like, no lie. I did not like the Minions movie. I didn't see like the other parts of the Despicable Me chain, but I didn't even like the Minions movie like at all. And I was really expecting to be disappointed with Despicable Me, and it was actually pretty cute. There was a little bit of storyline there. It wasn't just gag, 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 which they tend to do over there at Illumination. Just saying, they tend to do that. Just no story, a lot of gag, and a couple of cute characters, and I like more than that. But I enjoyed it. That's the point I'm trying to make. I did enjoy it. Hopefully my mic's not too far away either. I think I might have been a little bit low yesterday. Okay, so where are we? Here he is. So my lion is coming out, and I'm excited to see him. It looks like I started looking at the caricatures and I saw one that really like got his little snarl down. I totally took a different angle to mine, But I mean, there's nothing wrong with like seeing what other artists are doing too, and just saying, oh, they picked up on something that I didn't even notice too. Because remember, if I was saying yesterday, like the more you draw it, the more you're gonna notice things that you didn't even see before. And just like, just like how you get inspiration from your artist friends, especially if you're at a point in your life, which I kind of am, where you don't really have a lot of artist friends anymore. Seeing what other artists do online can be great inspiration for you. I mean, just right now is you seeing what another artist does online. I mean, that's what we're doing right now. So, I mean, learning from other artists is definitely great. So, anyway, I saw one artist that really they didn't do online version, obviously, but they did the scene where, gosh, what's his name? After a couple of weeks, I start to forget the names on the show. Believe me, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Oh gosh, it's like the younger son, Lannister. The one that killed his dad. Anyway, it was him slapping Joffrey, and and the look on Joffrey's face, like after he got slapped with the red mark, and he kind of had this snarl, and his like this kind of thing with his teeth, and I like that. And I started to look for images of Joffrey like angry, and I started to like want to find my own like real footage of Joffrey angry, and so I did that, and I spent a little bit of time on Google just looking at still frames from Game of Thrones, and I came up with a caricature that I feel a lot more confident with, and so that's the good news. That's the good news, folks. And always, yeah, just do your homework. I mean, it takes some time. I am coming out of a little hiatus with some of my character design, so this has been a great way for me to like get back on track and really improve actually on everything that I'm doing and everything that I've been doing with this. And so it's very exciting. It's a really awesome process, and I'm looking forward to a full month of Game of Thrones. Um, a full month of Game of Thrones character designs, starting with this one. I might even go past it if I can't get. I mean, my goal is 20 for July, so if I can't get 20 in July, then I might carry off to a few days in August. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. We'll see. So I'm going to go back to my green color that I'm using for his clothes, his fabric, and actually for his crown also. And I'm going to start drawing over here on this arm. When I'm doing the ink, I usually start from the top, the most important part of my entire drawing, which is the facial features, and I'll work my way down. So I always start with the facial features of my character before anything else when I'm doing the inking. Just starting out doing a rough sketch is different. Usually, if I'm doing something more cartoony, I'll start with the features. If I'm doing something more realistic, I'll start with the body. That's simply how I roll. But whatever you feel more comfortable with, and whatever you find works even more than what you feel comfortable with, because you might find that what you're comfortable with now is not the best technique for you in the long run. But whatever you find works, so be willing to try new things, especially like when you're learning how to do anatomy for the first time. Be willing to try new things, and whatever works is what you're going to use in the long run. I find that, doing anatomy, the body is, and getting like my proportions right, it's a lot easier and efficient for me to start with the body. But if I'm doing caricatures, it's a lot, it just comes out a lot more funny and more just natural to kind of work my way with the features first. Maybe sometimes I might put the head in or whatever and then put the features, but a lot of times I'll just start with the features. I'll definitely start with the face regardless. whether it's the head or the eyes. Usually, it's always though. It's always the face. Because that's the most important part of making a character. You want, I mean, especially if you want it to be funny, it is most important. And with the anatomy drawing, the body is more important than the faces. So that's what you need. And actually, when you do, actually, you see how like I almost just did it, and I realized this is actually a teachable moment, as some people might say. I realized that I can actually make it a lot nicer and believable if I actually add a little bit of fabric overlap, because this is fabric coming down and hanging down, and this is separate fabric that's making his sleeve. I do want to do some overlap of the fabric just to make it more not uh, overlap right here, just to show that the fabric is actually coming over, because that's what fabric does, and you want to keep it true to its nature, whatever that might be. I'm definitely looking forward to a lot more characters in the future. I'm looking forward to like the drama that ensues on Game of Thrones. That's what I'm looking forward to. I mean, I'm looking forward to drawing all the time, obviously, and starting this project. But I'm also really excited to see the new season. No, that's not the whole one. No one else is talking about it really, though. I haven't seen a whole. Maybe I just don't have the right friends. They're not like Game of Thrones nerds like I am, I guess. But I am very psyched. I saw a billboard the other day. I got so happy. I saw it in Studio City, which is this section, I guess you would call it in LA. I'm not sure what they're called here. I think it's called like sections. Like in New York, we call them sections. So like you'll have your boroughs, and then in your boroughs will have like your sections. And I don't know, we don't have boroughs in LA, but I guess they're still called sections, something like that. It sounds like all like shady though, doesn't it? Like section. Like, does it sound like part of a jail or something? Maybe I'm being dramatic, but that's how it's kind of, hey, section sounds a little. I mean, obviously, you don't say my section is blank, but you'll say I'm from blank, blank. But I don't know, section, that's just. When you're looking on a map and like someone's asking for directions, I don't know how you use it. Oh well. But I think I'm going to end it there. See you guys. Good night. And I'll be back tomorrow. So we'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Bye, everybody.